U.S. court wahala for Tinubu. About 24 hours ago, I told you, U.S. troops are now on Nigerian soil. Yesterday, something else moved. A United States federal court has ordered the FBI and Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, to release records related to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria. Let us be precise. The case in question is titled, let me give you the title of the case, United States versus Bola Ahmed Tinubu for future proceedings, Northern District of Illinois, 1993. That was the case. That is not a rumor. That is a federal case. Yesterday, a federal court weighed in. Now, because some of you are asking, what exactly was this about? I'll quote directly, so that is not my words, from Daily Trust, one of Nigeria's most established newspapers, Daily Trust. According to Daily Trust, yesterday, Monday, quote, Tinubu was said to have forfeited $460,000 to the American government in 1993 after authorities linked the funds to proceedings of narcotics trafficking. Narcotics trafficking. And further, quote, at the Presidential Election Petition Court, the issue of Tinubu's forfeiture of the funds featured prominently when his opponents Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi challenged the president's eligibility to contest Nigeria's presidency, unquote, unquote. None of this is my words. Those are direct quotations. Now, let us be clear, because I like to be thorough and to be accurate. This was a civil forfeiture proceedings in the United States. Clearly, it was not, had nothing to do with Nigeria in terms of this thing did not happen in Nigeria, it happened in the US. President Tinubu has denied wrongdoing. Those are the facts. But here is where it becomes geopolitical, not historical. Why is a US federal judge in 2026, this February, just yesterday, ordering the FBI and the DEA to release additional related records? Why? Ask yourself. Why is this moving now at this particular moment in geopolitics? Timing matters in politics. Let us line up the timeline. I'm going to carefully line up the timeline. Please bring out your pen and paper and start writing. Sokoto is bombed. The caliphate is bombed by Tomahawk missiles sent by Trump. Sokoto Caliphate. The First Lady, Remi Tinubu, shows up in Washington, D.C. The next thing, U.S. troops land in Nigeria. And then people are taking pictures everywhere, photo up. Plenty picture taken with Tinubu, usually surrounded by Americans. And now, yesterday, U.S. courts move. And suddenly, a state visit to the United Kingdom is arranged. Let us pause here and talk about standards. Suddenly, Tinubu wants to go and meet the king in UK. In Britain, the royal family, as we speak, has faced and is continuing to face intense public scrutiny over Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. King Charles has had to navigate calls for transparency and accountability, even within his own family. Prince Andrew is his brother. That is how institutions protect credibility. So the king is scrambling here. He's telling police, come and investigate my brother. I have nothing to do with this. They submit to scrutiny. Then pivot to Nigeria. Pivot to that Nigerian president who is going to visit King Andrew now. So as His Majesty prefers, as he prepares to meet Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, Nigerians then are wondering, they're entitled to ask a simple question. This is somebody willing to tell his brother to face justice? Does accountability apply universally? Does it? If Western institutions can withstand investigation of their own elites, this is the king's brother, with his title removed from him. Should African leaders be treated differently? If there are court records in the United States still being contested, court records involving Bola Tinubu and released in 2026, Does that raise legitimate questions about transparency? Ladies and gentlemen, diplomacy cannot be a shield against scrutiny. Just meeting somebody, how are you, Your Excellency? That's not a shield against scrutiny. Nigerians are not asking the King of England, King Charles, to prosecute anybody. Nigerians are asking for equal standards for everybody. If accountability is a principle in London, it should not disappear when African leaders like Tinubu arrive to come and take picture to show that they are close to the king and close to the UK. That should not happen. If I were the king, myself, that's me, I'll put Tinubu aside and say to him, what is in this court document involving you and this federal judge in the US that the man was released? So for purposes of transparency, tell me, please. That's me, that's what I would do. I'm not telling you what I would do. That is what I would do if I were the king. Ladies and gentlemen, sovereignty does not mean immunity from scrutiny. It means strength under scrutiny. That's what it means. And on the other hand, by the way, where is the direct engagement with the President of the United States? President Donald Trump. Why is Tinubu not meeting President Trump? People have wondered. He seems to be meeting with everybody. If the relationship between Nigeria and the UK is strong, well, that's what some of Tinubu say, no problem. Everything we are doing together, we are cooperating. If they are strong, as some of Tinubu's supporters claim, why not bilateral summit at the highest level? This is the most crisis I've seen between Nigeria and the US. Why not have a summit? Why no Trump-Tinubu meeting? Why intermediaries? Why send middlemen? Why choreography? In international politics, access is power. Absence of access is also a signal. This is not about 1993, ladies and gentlemen. This is about leverage in 2026. Simple. When a sitting president has a long-standing and politically contentious legal history in U.S. court records, that continues to generate political and judicial scrutiny. Even if civil, even if long ago, it creates reputational vulnerability for the president. And reputational vulnerability affects negotiating strength. I'm saying this so the president, Bola Tinubu, will understand. That is not an accusation. It is diplomatic reality. Since he runs Nigeria, Nigerians are entitled to ask him questions. He's not a king. In Abuja, is Abuja negotiating from strength, really? Especially on issues like U.S. troop presence, counter-terror operations, all this. Are they really operating from strength? Or are they being forced to do this? Are they operating from constraints? Things that are holding the president. If there's nothing further of concern in these records in U.S. courts about anybody, a full release should settle the matter. Let it be fully released. But do not pretend that simultaneous military movement, court pressure, and urgent diplomatic choreography are unrelated. All these things are related to each other. Too many things are moving at once. Too many moving parts. And Nigerians deserve clarity. This is not personal. This is institutional. A sovereign nation like Nigeria must not operate under whispered leverage. Whisper, whisper, whisper. This is my message for Asiwaju, the president of Nigeria. If you as Nigerian president cannot sit one-on-one, or if you as Nigerian president can sit one-on-one rather with global leaders like the King of England in London, then you should be able to sit one-on-one with the President of the United States. Why not? That's the one that actually bombed your own country. If the president cannot, Nigerians deserve to know why. Let him tell us why. Not slogans, not surrogates, not grammar, not State House press release by Bayo Onanuga. If Trump has refused to meet with him, tell us the man doesn't want to meet with me. Nigerians can take it. Subscribe, comment, push notifications. This is the Ofion Show. We don't just report events. We track where they lead. I am and remain the voice of the voiceless. Your independent voice. That's what I'm doing today. Telling fearless truths. I do this every day. And sometimes laughing at the failing and inept Nigerian power while doing this. They laugh them sometimes. I am Ofyong Akwa. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Make we go.
Oh, what you go through, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing me from. Happy New Day and happy Thursday. Before I forget, today happens to be the 12th day in the month of February and in the year of 2026. Anyway, matters arise, according to the information before us. And the clip you just finished watching now, it says it all. The only thing I can drop here, let me just make it clear here. Anybody who dares Biafrans, Nnamdi Kanu, and whoever that is fighting for the just cause of the Biafran people will never, that person will never end well. That person, sometimes they never live to tell the story. At least the likes of Ifeanyi Uba, Emmanuel Iwanyanwa Akpakpo, and the rest of them will be also, and the rest of them. I am not mocking the dead, please don't get it twisted. But I'm just trying to make a point here. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they told you, leave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, They warned you, even from US. A congressman in US made it very, very clear that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have trampled upon the right of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and every other individual that come from that southeast part of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu said no. Instead, he went and paid $9 million, which is approximately 50 billion naira. I said that one is not enough. He sent Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu Ribadu couldn't achieve anything. He finally said, okay, let me send the tiger, because he believed that his wife is the master of none-all. If they hear of master strategies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he lies on Oluremi Tinubu, who feel that she is wise than a man, who feel that she can do anything, who feel that she can even fight on the street naked. First lady of Nigeria can go to the street and fight naked. But my brother, one thing is for sure, don't you ever fight the Biafra, because you know, in fact, it is not going to end well with you. Now, and I don't hear everything now from Obong, Abi, Efia, Ofwa. I don't know whether I will call this my Biafra brother themselves. Whether you believe he be Biafra, you don't believe, that one is up to him. But the matter is very, very clear. This one is God have begun to fight those fighting Biafrans. Let me make it clear to you, because some people will bring this argument now. After all, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not the one that arrested Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Kiniko, blah, 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 blah. My brother, go back to our citizens. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the reason why the Igbos structures are being demolished in Lagos State. So, what are you telling me? You will bring this argument, and after all, Bola Ahmed Tinubu just started the presidency on 2023. Are you kidding me? Forgetting that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the chairman, the commander-in-chief, governor of Lagos State since 1999 to date. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the governor. In fact, he is the senator of Lagos State. He is the local government chairman, ordinary councillor, even to appoint people that is going to work in every parastatals, government parastatals in Lagos State. Bola Ahmed Tinubu must buy head to it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu owns government. His son, Sheyi Tinubu, owns all the hotel in Lagos State. His daughter is the Iyaloja of all the home markets, whether in Nigeria or only in Lagos State. Because also say she don't trample go Benin, but that one did not end well with her. The wife is a senator, first lady. She is, in fact, there's nothing you can think of. She is a tiger. She fights on the street, and she is also a bloody racist. Racism is being written white on top of Oluremi Tinubu. That is the person you people sent to go to, what I call it, White House, to go and do whatever you want it. My brother, it's not going to end well with Nigerian government. As far as this Biafra issue is concerned, my brother, they have to think twice. Otherwise, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is too early for you to amend your ways and also do the needful on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and every other Biafran that have been held in custody unjustly. I repeat, unjustly. I will not take much of your time, because they say time is money. This one is our first publication of today. So please remember our prayer point trending. Our prayer point is still going on. Oh God, my Lord, my Father, any man or woman disgracing Biafrans, or rather that want Biafrans never to amount to anything, my brother, the disgrace Oluremi Tinubu pass in White House, in fact, that will be a child's play. Please always pray this prayer. And don't forget, we have a quiz going on. Which country is very close to USA? If you know the answer, please drop it at the comment section. I'm still waiting for people to answer. Okay, have a nice day. I'm a regular control to bless you. Please share this message. Let it go viral. Kachineke meziokwu.